I once dated an ultra-rich heir. Ethan Clark never looked down on my humble background. He'd rage against anyone who slighted me and kiss me earnestly on his private hangar. I thought this was love. Until his childhood sweetheart Emma returned from abroad. When he threw away my gift and became engrossed in chatting with her. I knew my place and disappeared that same day, vanishing completely for 5 years. But shouldn't he be celebrating? Why was he crying? During senior year job fair, I saw Ethan again. The impeccably dressed heir to the Clark aviation empire stood out like a Greek god, surrounded by swarming crowds. My dorm mates whispered excitedly, everyone's fighting tooth and nail for Skyward Airlines because of Ethan. Did you know he's only 23? The youngest airline heir in history. Beyond his pedigree, Ethan's physical presence commanded attention. 6'2" with model proportions. Chiseled features framed by that signature Clark family bone structure. Last year when Skyward hired male celebrities for promotions, Ethan outshone them all during joint appearances. He's the living embodiment of Skyward's brand, people said. Watching him calmly answer questions now felt surreal. This poised professional bore no resemblance to the cruel, ice-cold man from my memories whose beautiful lips only spewed cutting remarks. Look at the campus queen practically throwing herself at Ethan. My roommate snorted. Can't she see Emma standing right there? Emma's so gorgeous, they're the perfect power couple. Childhood sweethearts and complete equals. Ugh. Their fairy tale romance makes me sick. Wait, doesn't Emily resemble Emma a bit? The conversation suddenly turned to me. Resemble her? That's precisely why a poor farm girl like me had caught Ethan's attention 5 years ago. He'd personally tutored me in aviation mechanics, kissed me breathless in moonlit hangars, and gifted me an exquisite illusion, all because I mirrored her. During Q&A session, my attention-seeking roommate raised her hand first. No questions. Just wanted to say, Emma, you're stunning. Emma smiled graciously, thank you. We hope you'll all consider Skyward. But, my roommate pivoted. I have a classmate who looks exactly like you. The entire auditorium turned, including Ethan. His gaze lingered on our section as I frantically pretended to tie my shoe, pulse roaring in my ears. Mercifully, the moderator moved the session along. Another student asked, Mr. Clark, what type of person would Skyward never hire? Performers. Ethan's immediate answer drew confused murmurs. Ethan explained calmly. I personally dislike show-offs and liars. When I encounter such applicants, I immediately reject them. Do you have some trauma in this area? My ex-girlfriend was exactly that type of person. The audience erupted in playful jeers. Long after the presentation ended, everyone kept buzzing about Ethan and his mysterious ex. No one noticed me throwing away Soar Airlines' promotional flyer without a word. My roommates were all flight attendant majors. While I studied aviation technology, in simpler terms, I pilot planes. Everyone wanted to join Soar Airlines. But the competition was brutal, with nearly every flight attendant student cramming for the exams. My closest roommate Olivia, our resident drama queen, sighed before her written exam. I'm so jealous. You're practically guaranteed to get into SOAR. Why do you say that? You're the only woman in your program and the top student. SOAR would beg to have you. Not necessarily. Female pilots aren't favored. No. You're wrong. When women have to work twice as hard to outperform men in physical training, everyone notices. SOAR definitely knows your worth. I smiled. But I'm not applying to SOAR. What? Why? Her shock made sense. SOAR offered the industry's best salaries. Who turns down that money? I'm considering other airlines. Emily, are you crazy? Olivia gasped. SOAR's pilot salaries are beyond my wildest dreams. What other airline matches that? It wasn't about the money. That answer stayed unspoken as I walked alone through campus after seeing Olivia to her exam. The gentle sunlight reminded me of that same kind of weather 8 years ago when I first met Ethan. I grew up in a remote village as Emily, After my parents died when I was 10, Grandma raised me with what little they'd left. One day post-middle school exams, a famous director came to our village. He wanted to document a rural child adjusting to city life for 3 years. They'd already chosen an urban family, they just needed the right country kid. Principal Mom recommended me. Before departure, she pulled me aside solemnly, "Early bird. Know why I chose you? You're our top student and a girl. You must attend university. Escape this place. I can't teach you more here. But there'll be better teachers there. Seize this chance. Understood?" "Yes," I asked naively. "Principal Mom, everyone calls me M. Why do you call me Early Bird?" "Because it sounds hopeful." Her eyes held quiet sorrow. My first flight to Beijing left me violently airsick. The director laughed. "This won't do. Know what your new family does?" I shook my head. "See those planes? They own them all." I looked up as a massive airliner took off. Turbulent winds making my heart race. Those winds would later blow through my 18th year, altering my life forever. The Clark family, owners of Soar Airlines, adopted me. Their mansion hosted an extravagant welcome party with electronics I'd never imagined. It was supposed to be my welcome party, yet I became the most silent and out-of-place person in the room. Soon, I spotted a kindred spirit, Ethan, a boy in black standing on the second floor, gazing down at me with detached eyes. I'd never seen anyone so beautiful, nor witnessed such icy indifference. That marked my first encounter with Ethan Clark. Ethan was the sole heir to the Clark family's aviation empire. His dislike for me likely stemmed from my provincial ways. When I transferred to his elite school and landed in his class, he demanded I pretend not to know him. "I don't need paparazzi following me daily anyway," he'd snapped. Our interactions depended entirely on his father William Clark's hectic schedule, as both he and Mrs. Clark were perpetually occupied. Most days, the mansion housed only Ethan and me in frosty silence. The thaw came after my disastrous first monthly exams. My atrocious English score earned me public humiliation. The teacher made me stand and read aloud with my comical rural accent. Classmates' laughter still burned my ears when Ethan kicked open my bedroom door that evening, expecting anger over my muffled sobs. I instead received a caramel candy tossed my way. "Come to my room after you finish it," he'd said with characteristic brusqueness. That tart sweet confection became our truce token. Ethan began tutoring me in English while explaining aircraft mechanics during study sessions. By finals, my grades skyrocketed. Using saved allowance, I bought him a bird-shaped keychain. "Ugly chicken," he'd scoffed, though the faint smile softening his features betrayed approval. When he clipped it to his backpack, the thanks. Emily caught me off guard. "Why call me Emily?" I'd blurted. "Should I use M? Your parents basically named you early death with that yaya nonsense." His blunt words struck true. My rural upbringing under neglectful parents who'd openly wished for my demise became our unspoken understanding. Gradually, I realized Ethan's isolation mirrored mine. Before my arrival, only staff greeted him in the cavernous mansion. His initial hostility stemmed from fearing I'd steal his parents' scarce affection. Instead, I became his sole anchor, the one who braved blizzards to rush him to the hospital during midnight fevers. The constant presence in his gilded loneliness. When Ethan had appendicitis, I was the one waiting outside the operating room. Even after the surgery ended, his parents never showed up. On Ethan's 16th birthday, Mr. William Clark and his wife promised to return home. But by midnight, they'd broken their promise again. That night, Ethan squatted in the garden smoking. The untouched birthday feast still spread on the table. The Clark family's rules forbade smoking. But who cared? I wanted to comfort him, but my clumsy tongue couldn't form the right words. In the end, I dragged him out for a night ride. The young master who usually traveled by chauffeur rarely rode bicycles. We raced through streets, embracing the night wind with wild freedom. I told him about my rural childhood, teaching him to distinguish wheat from rice. Ethan stared at the starry sky, his dark eyes gleaming. Someday, he vowed, I'll fly an air route straight to your hometown. Young love blooms so simply, so fiercely. From 15 to 18, we were inseparable. When boys at school mocked my accent, Ethan punched the loudest bully. When I forced smiles through menstrual cramps during photo shoots, he'd warm my hands off camera. After graduation, he showed me his coming-of-age gift, a private jet. On that windswept tarmac beneath swirling night sky, Ethan kissed me. We were supposed to attend the same university, graduate together, build a life. When did everything fracture? Perhaps when Emma's photos first appeared. Miss? The familiar voice snapped me back to reality. Ethan stood before me in the waiting area, studying me intently. Here for the interview? I'd merely accompanied Olivia to this Flybeyond Airlines recruitment event. Yet here was Ethan himself overseeing routine hiring, noticing me despite my oversized pollen mask covering up to my eyes. The malnourished beanpole he'd known now sported tan skin and pilot's muscles. There's no way he'd recognize. What's your name? His sudden question silenced the room. Where are you from? Before I could respond, Olivia emerged from her interview. Oh, my roommate's from the mountain area, she blurted. Her surname's Chin. Called Emily Wilson? Ethan gripped my wrist, urgency cracking his voice. Emily Wilson? Wrong, I said evenly, presenting my student ID. Chin Yun Yu. Olivia blinked. Yeah, Yun Yu, not Zhao Yao. He examined the card bearing Emily Wilson, then my masked face. For 3 suspended heartbeats. The boy who'd memorized every childhood scar of mine stared at the stranger before him, finally releasing my wrist. He turned away with a curt proceed. The student ID has a photo, but it looks nothing like me. So I'm not worried. Ethan still persisted. Could you take off your mask? No. Olivia, thinking I was being misunderstood, blurted out, she has severe pollen allergies. That's why she keeps wearing it. We're just regular students, you saw our IDs. Ethan finally realized his overstep. He muttered an apology, yet his gaze never left me. Even after we walked far away, he remained rooted in place, watching. Olivia guiltily massaged my wrist. Did I hurt you? Why was Ethan so rough? It's fine. She didn't know. I couldn't blame her. But Ethan's expression, had he noticed something? Hopefully I'm overthinking. Someone like him, a Clark Air, wouldn't linger over a replacement. I'd known about the resemblance to the socialite princess since 5 years ago. Late August. 3 months into dating Ethan. His birthday approached. I'd saved up to buy him a designer hoodie. But William Clark summoned me that day. Emily, are you involved with my son? I answered brightly, yes. Uncle. We both got into a university. Soon we'll, I forbid it. His authoritarian tone stunned me. You and Ethan inhabit different worlds. I funded your education, not your schemes to entrap my heir. This isn't entrapment. We're nothing that will continue. He cut me off. You're a decent girl, Emily. But Clarks don't marry foundation cases. No one enters this family without proper pedigree. Ethan's just having youthful fun. Was this the real face of capitalism? So different from his charity galas. Let's be frank, I adopted you for PR. The Clark Foundation's Urban Youth Project looked great during our IPO. You got Beijing's best education. Be grateful. Don't covet above your station. His coldness terrified me. But Ethan's serious. Serious? He spun his leather chair, scattering photos. Meet Emma. Their family's vacation in Aspen together. Her father supplies our aerospace alloys. Perfect match. She was studying abroad when you arrived. First time seeing Emma. We resembled each other. But she glowed with privileged beauty. I looked like her discount replica. My mind buzzed with static. Didn't mean to shock you. But Emma's returning. Better you hear this from me. Consider it paternal advice. William Clark balanced carrot and stick masterfully. I appreciate cooperative children. Think of your grandmother. Your beloved principal. What if they heard you're seducing boys in the city? The threat hung unspoken. Yet the final blow came elsewhere. Returning to the mansion, I sought Ethan for answers. Before entering, I saw her Emma, radiant in person, laughing with Ethan on his birthday. My hoodie gift lay in the trash. What happened next was straightforward. I broke up with him over WeChat. Ethan, busy as ever, replied with 2 words, reason? I was tired of it all, the documentary was finished. And I had no more use. This wasn't some act of pride. That discarded hoodie held my last shred of dignity. Ethan texted, Emily. Was I just another part of your publicity stunt in Beijing? If that's what you think, fine. Was yesterday's I love you another lie? Yeah. Right. Whatever you say. I wanted to infuriate him. He didn't respond. But my resentment grew. And I furiously typed paragraphs demanding why he treated me as a replacement and thrown away my gift. All I got was the glaring red exclamation mark, he'd blocked me. Good riddance. The WeChat account he'd helped me create was filled with elite private school alumni. All from wealthy or influential families. William Clark's words made me realize I shouldn't force myself into a world that wasn't mine. So I deleted the account. I abandoned my college plans and took a gap year to study again. Prestigious university. It was never my dream. I wanted aerospace school, which seemed impossible given my frail health. After a year of grueling effort, I earned early admission to flight school. Later, I changed my name, built my strength, and started living authentically. Ironically, the documentary never aired. Authorities feared it would cause resentment among rural youth. Fine by me. Days after what I thought was my final encounter with Ethan, I went to the department office for job referral forms. The professor wasn't there, just Ethan sitting inside. Why did he keep appearing at my campus? Were corporate recruiters this desperate now? Here for the referrals? Ethan's gaze weighed heavily on me. Come here. I adjusted my mask. Professor isn't in, I'll return later. He slid the forms toward me. Trapped. I inched closer. Up close. I spotted the faded bird-shaped keychain I'd given him years ago still dangling from his car keys. About the interview, I'm sorry. He'd recognized me. Why not join Skyward Aviation? I've applied elsewhere. I mumbled, clutching the forms. I'll triple your salary. Other companies suit me better. Ethan's pen halted. He looked up slowly. Better how? His voice dropped. Where could possibly suit you more than here? For a heartbeat. His words felt loaded. I grabbed the papers and turned to leave. Ethan suddenly gripped my shoulders. His control snapping. Running again? Did you really think I wouldn't recognize you? His whisper cracked the silence. Emily. The office froze. Every breath audible. Fine then. I sighed, removing my mask. It's me. So what? Ethan's eyes darkened with restrained anger. You've grown bold. Dropping out. Deleting contacts. Disappearing off the face of Earth. Who taught you these tricks? I remained silent. These years in Beijing, yet you never sought me out. Why would I? We're practically strangers. His jaw tightened. 3 years living together makes us strangers? He stepped closer. His executive aura more pronounced after 5 years. Unflinching. I smiled up at him. Mr. Clark. Security cameras are rolling. Take one more step and I'll sue you for sexual harassment. You've changed. I haven't. This is who I've always been. Disappointed? He wordlessly produced a folded application form from his suit pocket. Join Skyward. After training, I'll fast-track your commercial license exam. No. Don't be stubborn. His unexpected patience surfaced. The pandemic backlog has thousands of pilots waiting years for exam slots. This is your best shot. Flight schools don't want showboats like me. Besides, I shrugged. I've already secured other offers. His phone rang with Emma's caller ID. I fell silent, startled when Ethan answered on speakerphone. I found her. What? Emma's voice faltered. Emily's here with me. His gaze pinned me. The girl I saw that day was her. I see. Her response carried defeat. Emma. Ethan's tone turned clinical. After the recruitment event, you personally reviewed all female applicants' files. But you claimed none matched her description. The accusation hung heavy. I blinked. Since when did Ethan become this ruthless? Even toward Emma? I might have overlooked the only female aviation major? His skepticism cut through. Her photos in every file. Are you blaming me now? Merely reminding you of professional standards. He ended the call. The pieces clicked. Emma had hidden my records after Olivia's slip-up at the event. But the real bombshell came next. You made your girlfriend hunt down your ex? The words escaped me. Ethan frowned. She's not my girlfriend. Never will be. Right. Couldn't get the real deal. So you're settling for the replacement. His gaze sharpened. There's no replacement. There's only you. My indifference cut Ethan deeply. Emily. I've been searching for you since you vanished. Interesting. I haven't dated anyone. You're still the only girlfriend I've ever had. Get to the point. His voice softened. I'm in love with you. Let's try again. Ethan's confession was startlingly blunt. I rejected him outright. But he insisted on pursuing me anew. The absurdity amused me. After accepting an offer from another airline, I began pre-employment training. Ethan became a persistent presence, inventing excuses for shared meals, shopping trips, all of which I indulged. When I rescued a stray cat, I entrusted it to him, knowing my frequent absences. Emily. He cradled the kitten nervously. Will you visit often? Regularly. I smiled. Take good care of it, I'll be checking. He mistook this truce for reconciliation. Little did he know it was my opening gambit. During our company's November exchange program with Skysoar Aviation, Ethan personally escorted our trainee group, an uncharacteristic gesture that flustered everyone. As twilight fell, he materialized beside me. Hungry? Try this first. The cream plum candy tasted exactly like those from our 15th summer, tangy and saccharine. Thanks. Tired today? Better than training drills. Remember to balance work and rest. He studied me intently. No pressure. Just, I flushed, lowering my voice. Ethan. If a girl calls some guy nightly, would he realize she likes him? His face bleached. You have feelings for someone? The November wind howled through the windows as I chirped. Yep. He became a statue, then suddenly propelled me into a darkened office. Locking the door, he pinned me against it, desperation crackling in the shadows. Tell me you're lying. Emily. That there's no one else. The violence of his reaction stunned me. This wasn't the controlled Ethan I knew, this was wildfire. It's true, I answered. I'm not lying. There's a guy named Ryan in our training group who's totally my type with an amazing physique. We've been in this flirty situationship. Ethan didn't believe me. I pulled out my phone to show him proof. Yesterday I'd posted wish I could watch the sunset on social media. 5 minutes later, Ryan shared a sunset photo. 3 days ago when I posted what's your wish today? Ryan immediately shared the song I Wanna See You Today. Each of these subtle interactions made Ethan's jaw clench tighter. He gripped my waist, practically engulfing me in his arms. Then why did you agree to dinner with me? Because you wouldn't stop pestering me otherwise. And why entrust your cat to me? You're rich enough to buy premium cat food. Ethan ground his teeth, finally realizing. Emily, you played me? I smiled. Why would I? I consider you just a regular friend. The words regular friend ignited his anger just as other trainees' voices approached outside. Where's Emily? She was here earlier. Ethan's missing too. Could they be in the office? No way, he never allows anyone in there. Their footsteps neared the door we stood behind. Ethan trapped me against it, demanding harshly, do regular friends do this? Our bodies pressed together. Shared breath sweet from the candies we'd eaten. The doorbell rang. Ethan? Sorry to interrupt. But have you seen our trainee? I froze silent. Let's go. Nobody's inside. A trainee said. Ethan tilted my chin up. What if I opened this door right now? Wait, did you hear that? Ryan's voice called out. Emily? Are you in there? Ethan's grip tightened as he recognized the familiarity in Ryan's use of my name. Is that him? Ryan called again. Is someone talking in there? I suddenly wrapped my arms around Ethan's toned waist, catching him off guard as I whispered in his ear, say one more word and I'll never forgive you. He stayed silent but radiated fury. I went so far as to threaten him for Ryan. When Ryan didn't get an answer, he left with his entourage. Only after the footsteps completely faded did I finally relax. Ethan's eyes were bloodshot, looking utterly wronged. Emily, what have I done to deserve this torment from you? What right do you have to ask that? I snapped, abandoning all restraint. The moment filming wrapped, your parents threw me out like trash. Was I just some prop for their performance art? And you, Ethan. I may be poor, but I've got a beating heart too. I gave you my genuine affection. And what did I get in return? Your cruel games. What the hell? Ethan's brows furrowed deeply, his expression twisting with anger, shock, and confusion. I've fucking loved you so much these past 5 years it nearly killed me. What games are you talking about? His genuine bewilderment caught me off guard. This didn't feel like an act. Weren't you using me as Emma's replacement? Who said that? What fucking nonsense. For the first time, I saw Ethan's composure crack. I've never had feelings for Emma. Where would this replacement theory even come from? William told me. That old bastard? What exactly did he say? After I recounted William's words, Ethan's face turned glacial. Bullshit. Emma and I grew up together, but she's lived overseas since childhood. We're barely even acquaintances. Now it was my turn to be shocked. But she flew back specifically for your birthday that year. She was just dropping off souvenirs during a business trip. She didn't even remember my actual birthday. I studied his face intently. No trace of deception, and he's no actor. Then why did you throw away the hoodie I gave you? The memory reignited my anger. That final betrayal sealing my disdain. Without explaining, Ethan opened a discreet door in his office, revealing a cozy alcove with carefully preserved clothing. My gifted hoodie hung prominently displayed, immaculate despite the years. This is the real one you gave me. But I received 2 identical pieces. Ethan grimaced. My mother sent the other. You threw away your mom's gift? Yeah. His bitter smile surprised me. She bought the wrong size. Couldn't even remember what her own son wears. After a heavy pause, I pressed. What's your current relationship with Emma? After graduation, the old man forced her into Crosswing as my assistant. He wants our families merged through marriage. What does Emma think? I recalled their phone conversation's intimate tone. She confessed to me 3 years ago. Ethan met my gaze unflinchingly. Caught me completely off guard. I thought we were just childhood friends. Said she developed feelings during our work together. I turned her down immediately. Tried transferring her to another department. But she refused. Claimed there were plenty of suitable matches in our circle. I believed her, until you reappeared. His jaw tightened. Now I realized that was just her excuse to stay close. The truth settled between us like shattered glass. Come to think of it, after that phone call, I haven't seen Emma since. She must have been transferred. But I'm still confused. Really confused. We look so alike. And she's even prettier than me. Why was it me? Is she prettier than me? Not really. Ethan took off that sweatshirt and held it up against his body. 5 years had passed. And he was no longer the boy he used to be. A suit suited him better than a sweatshirt. I like you. Regardless of what you look like. He recalled the past. And his gaze gradually grew distant. My parents never cared about me since I was a kid. Those 3 years in high school were the happiest years of my life so far. I liked having someone to go home with after school every day. I liked having someone to fight with me for the last piece of meat at dinner, and I liked seeing your lit window every night. I really like you. And I'll only like you. Ethan's eyes were slightly red. He seemed about to cry. As if afraid of looking embarrassing, Ethan lowered his head. At this moment, his bowed figure was no different from when I first saw him. Equally lonely and cold. Longing to love and be loved. After that, we took some time to clear up other misunderstandings. For example, why he deleted me so readily when I broke up with him. It turned out that on that day, while Mr. William Clark came to see me, Mrs. Clark went to see him. His biological mother, who rarely had a heart-to-heart with him, only talked about me. She said that Emily was just here to seek attention and that even the relationship was full of ulterior motives. Of course, Ethan didn't believe it at first. But his mom showed him a video clip from the documentary shooting. In the video, I admitted that I came to Beijing for money. Ethan was shocked and a bit disappointed. So, when I broke up with him, he was also angry. But he regretted it that night. When he wanted to win me back, he found that my account had been deleted. He asked his family about my whereabouts. But no one knew. When college started, he searched the whole university but didn't see me. Finally, the teacher told him that I never enrolled. Ethan even went to my hometown. But I wasn't there. During my year of retaking the exam, the principal's mom took me to another place to prepare for the exam. Later, I changed my name, so it was even more impossible for him to find me. After all these twists and turns, Ethan let out a sigh. I've figured it out now. It's okay if you're after money. I have money, and you can come after me. I'm willing to be used by you like this. I shook my head. That video was edited. I did want the money because the director team promised me that if I behaved well, they'd pay for my grandma's treatment and donate some books to the school in my hometown. Ethan stared at me blankly and murmured, "So that's how it is. So that's how it is. But," I said softly, "you all broke your promises." My grandma passed away. The school couldn't go on. It's a pity. In the end, neither the director team nor the Clark family fulfilled their promises. When my grandma was critically ill, these high-ups refused to see me. I was really just a tool for their show-off. Right? The only thing I'm glad about is that I listened to the principal's mom and didn't waste the chance to study. Ethan looked pale. I'm sorry. I didn't know about this. If I had known, I would've, but there's no if anymore. It's all in the past. Then we're just like the school days and grandma's house, things we can never return to. This was my final answer to Ethan. 5 years isn't short. Long enough to change a person. The youthful passion we once shared had withered over time, leaving only sighs of regret. Having seen the world's true face, I'd stopped naively believing love could conquer all. Mr. William Clark had been right about one thing: we came from different worlds. A clean break was the best ending. I felt some guilt about my previous revenge against Ethan, but only a flicker, maybe lasting 1 second. If he's suffering, let him suffer. I'd endured no less pain myself. Who ever pitied me? Besides, I'd rejected him before. His stubborn persistence brought this on himself. Yet even after this second rejection, Ethan still wouldn't give up. When Ryan fell ill in December, I accompanied him to the hospital for 4 fluids. While getting medication, I unexpectedly ran into Ethan. "What's wrong?" he immediately asked. "Nothing. Ryan has a fever." His face darkened. "He made you come? This place is full of patients. Doesn't he care about exposing you?" TSK. That manipulative tone. "I came voluntarily," I said. Ethan's expression worsened. "You care that much? Risking infection for him? None of your business." I turned to leave. He followed like a shadow until I snapped. "Mr. Clark, stop tailing me. Look at me first." After prolonged eye contact, I shrugged. "If you're fine, I'm leaving." Defeated, he whispered, "Aren't you going to ask why I'm here? Can't you tell I'm sick too?" Now that he mentioned it, he did look unwell. Those hopeful eyes wanted concern. "I'm with Ryan now. Have a boyfriend. It's inappropriate to care for you." The lethal implication stunned him. Color drained from his face. "When?" "Yesterday." He stood frozen as I walked back to Ryan. Ryan's decent, gentle, driven, the most handsome trainee in our program. When mutual affection developed, dating felt natural. "Took you a while," Ryan noted. "Saw you talking to someone?" Who is it?" "Ethan from Skysoar." "Are you close?" Ryan asked casually. "He used to visit you at the company often before." "Not at all." I poured him hot water. "He tried to recruit me to Skysoar once." "That's it. Why didn't you go?" "Skysoar's a top airline. Not my dream company." Ryan sounded envious. "I wanted to join Skysoar for the higher pay, but their standards were too strict. They rejected me." I smiled without comment. After that day, Ethan stopped coming around. Olivia, however, kept updating me about him. She'd become a Skysoar flight attendant and maintained good relations with management. "Emily, you won't believe this," Olivia blurted. "Ethan's clashing with William over control of the company." I froze, then realized this was classic Ethan. His strained relationship with the Clark patriarch had been building toward this. Also, I just heard the juiciest gossip: Ethan's nursing a broken heart. He's been moping around. And get this, he drunkenly asked his new assistant how to become a homewrecker. I was speechless. God, he actually wants to be a homewrecker? What kind of girl could drive him to this? Emma? I guessed. Nope. He already denied any involvement with Emma. Must be someone else. Your company's full of drama, haha. Serves you right for not joining Skysoar. How's your certification going? My throat tightened. The FAA licensing exams had begun. Yet my name wasn't on the roster. Top scores in every training module. Perfect attendance. Why was I passed over? Olivia comforted me all night. Her encouragement steeled my resolve to demand answers. On exam day, after seeing Ryan into the testing center, I confronted our supervisor. "Limited slots this time," he said smoothly. "Maybe next cycle?" Empty corporate platitudes. I need to understand the selection criteria. Why exclude me? It's a collective decision. Complicated to explain. I've got time. His mask slipped after my persistent questioning. Slamming his desk, He snapped, "Male cadets get priority. Women wait their turn. Why? Men have longer career longevity in aviation. Less complications. That's prejudice. I outperformed everyone, no absences. Double the flight hours. Save it. Women quit after marriage anyway. Too risky to invest in." The words gutted me. All those nights studying by kerosene lamp, clawing my way from village poverty to top of the class, only to crash against this archaic wall. Why? 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 Because I happened to be born female? For over 2 decades. No hardship ever made me shed tears. Yet now I felt utterly wronged. Fat teardrops rolling down my cheeks as the manager forced me out. Through blurred vision, I glimpsed a figure in my periphery, Ethan leaning against the wall with detached calmness. Having clearly witnessed everything. "Emily." His voice stopped me. "Aren't you going to hit him?" Hit him? Well, some archaic mindsets can't be changed with words. Only physical consequences might teach him. He's my supervisor. What if I handle the fallout? Ethan's gaze hardened. He wasn't wrong. My silence today would condemn more female trainees to his discrimination later. Violence wasn't the answer. Instead, I grabbed my water bottle and flung its contents at the manager's pomade stiff hair. His furious finger jabbed at me, curses erupting until Ethan strode in, steadying my trembling shoulders. "Tell your director Wang every candidate he submitted today had already been rejected by SOAR Aviation." The manager gaped. "Young Master Clark?" Ethan recently acquired shares. I clarified. "He's no longer just Mr. Clark from PR." Ethan gestured at me. "This pilot?" Source claiming her. The manager's oily smile resurfaced. "Let's discuss this over tea. Young Master, you're beneath my notice. Have Director Wang deliver Emily's files to SOAR by tomorrow." The balding man's grin died as realization struck. He'd messed with the wrong people. I slumped on the curb. Winter winds cutting through me. Ethan kept talking logistics, "Rest today. But expect onboarding soon after we receive your documents. There might be recertification." Defeat washed over me. So I still needed your connections after all? What was the point of my efforts? Ethan dropped onto the pavement, uncaring about his tailored suit. He unwrapped a candy and popped it into my mouth, the same sweet sour salted plum flavor from when we were 15. He asked. "What's a commercial pilot's primary duty?" "Bearing hundreds of lives." "Exactly. Even for you. No exceptions." His expression turned grave. "I'm recruiting you as CEO, reviewing your records, not because we grew up together. Losing talent like you damages SOAR. I want you back. But never by trading cockpit privileges for favors. No connections, however strong, compromise passenger safety. You earned this through your exam scores and training performance. The FAA evaluation will be merit-based. Gender irrelevant. Above us. A jet carved contrails across the sky. I want to fly." I whispered. Ethan's eyes warmed with approval. "Welcome to SOAR." Ethan didn't lie to me. After transferring my credentials to SOAR, I underwent rigorous company exams and inspections before being officially hired. The day I received my offer, my first thought was to break up with Ryan. I rushed to share the good news with him but never got the chance. Ryan was too busy celebrating. He just obtained his commercial pilot license, meaning he could finally fly commercial airlines. I was genuinely happy for him. Then his tone shifted abruptly. "Emily, are you coming back to the airline? What's wrong?" I hadn't told Ryan about SOAR's offer, wanting to surprise him once it was official. He continued, "I figure you'll be flying nonstop now. But someone needs to stay home to raise kids and care for the elders." I froze. "What are you saying? Since you've quit anyway, why not settle down? Let's get married fast. Have 2 kids while you're young. It'll be easier." His words sounded like a discussion but carried smug finality. "Ryan, I outperformed you in every training module. So what? I got my license first. I'll make captain before you. My salary's enough for the family, just budget carefully. I stared, stunned. How had I never seen this arrogance before? We'd only dated a month, and he'd already dropped the act. Oh, and my family's had only sons for 3 generations. We'll need a boy. He kept laying out his demands like assigning chores. I threw my tea in his face. The move I'd used on my balding boss worked even better here. Are you insane? Ryan roared. You're the delusional one. My voice stayed eerily calm. I fought my way from mountain villages to flight school to soar above clouds, not to breathe your air. Grabbing my bag, I turned to leave, then paused. By the way, I'm joining SOAR. His jaw dropped as I walked out. At SOAR, Olivia became my colleague. We trained relentlessly while waiting for the next licensing exam. Meanwhile, corporate power shifts rippled through management. Ethan steadily wrested control from his father William, implementing radical reforms, equal pay for female pilots, authentic charity work replacing hollow PR stunts. He rebuilt my hometown school into the first girls' academy. More followed across impoverished regions, some named SOAR Girls' Schools. Others simply M Girls' Schools. When reporters asked about the latter name, Ethan just smiled. The next autumn, I aced the commercial pilot exam with the highest scores. My journey from muddy mountain trails to airport jet bridges ended as I officially became SOAR's newest airline captain, wings unclipped. Future unbounded. I've walked this path for nearly 24 years. But it's not over yet. I began accumulating flight hours, working toward becoming a captain. At 26, William Clark was completely sidelined. He never imagined that every obstacle he'd faced over the years had been orchestrated by his own biological son. That day, passing by the office, I overheard a heated argument. William had aged, no amount of hair dye could conceal his silver roots. Ethan, he pleaded, I'm your father. Why are you doing this? Ethan replied icily. Did you ever treat me as your son? You missed every birthday, every parent-teacher conference. Where were you when I had surgery? With your mistress. Did it ever occur to you then that I was your flesh and blood? When William tried to argue, Ethan continued. And when you verbally abused Emily, my first love, the girl I cherished more than anything, did you remember you had a son at all? His final verdict hung in the air. You showed me no kindness. Why should I show you any? Ethan looked startled when he saw me outside the office. When did you land? An hour ago. We arrived early today. You knew that? He smiled without answering. But I understood, for 2 years. He tracked every flight I piloted without fail. We'd grown up. Matured. Gone were the days of obsessing over love. Now we coexisted as colleagues. Friends, sharing meals. Discussing flight paths and city lights instead of reconciliation. Yet I knew Ethan remained single. Waiting in silence. 7 years flashed by. I logged 700 flight hours. Earned my captain's wings. On my 31st birthday, our airline launched its inaugural route from my hometown to Beijing. Ethan personally appointed me as the flight's first captain. I brought my adoptive mother, the school principal who raised me, to Beijing as an honored guest. Olivia served as chief flight attendant. The maiden voyage started smoothly until we hit unpredicted turbulence. The plane shuddered violently. My palms slicked with sweat as the instructor behind me offered encouragement. When Olivia patched into the cockpit intercom, I heard panicked murmurs from the cabin. Then her steady voice cut through. Emily, are you nervous? We'd been roommates since freshman year. This woman who could still read me like an open book. Through the chaos, her question anchored me, a reminder that some bonds outlast storms. Outfly time itself. Don't panic. It's just stress. Not that you're unfit to fly. You're still adjusting to being a captain. I get it. But remember, you were top of your class. Nobody's better than you. Whether we keep flying or make an emergency landing, I'll be here waiting for your call. Okay? The weather seemed to worsen. Suddenly I remembered my childhood in the mountains. We had storms like this all the time. But I never missed school. Until my repeat year. When the school shut down. Partly funding issues. Partly, no students left. Principal Mom said all the other girls got married. I'll never forget her defeated expression that day. She took me out of the village. Helped me retake exams. Even gave me the name Emily. Spread your wings for all those girls. She told me. Fly above the clouds. Right. I'm carrying their hopes, thousands of them. I can't give up now. I rallied. Consulting carefully with air traffic control and the crew. After confirming we could proceed, I called Olivia. We're flying. Just 2 words. Olivia exhaled sharply. Then I've got the cabin. I knew she was terrified too. Yet she chose to be my anchor. Fighting alongside me. Her calm announcement echoed through the cabin, trust your captain. 20 minutes later. Sunlight pierced the clouds. The airport near my mountain hometown came into view. Cheers erupted over the radio as we touched down safely. After the last passenger disembarked, Olivia finally broke. She clung to me, sobbing. All right. I patted her back. Let's go. We straightened our uniforms, adjusted our caps, and stepped onto the jet bridge. The terminal took my breath away. A crowd lined the corridor, passengers. Families. Thank you. Captain. Thank you. Crew. The gratitude washed over me in waves. Every struggle had been worth it. Principal Mom's hair had gone silver. But she bounced like a kid. Telling strangers, that's my student. First college graduate from our village. Then I saw him at the corridor's end, Ethan. Eyes rimmed red. Holding flowers and a birthday cake. Our gazes locked. That endless moment spanned 16 years. Every memory flashed bright, then dissolved like morning mist. Youth tastes like the salted plum candy we shared at 15. Bittersweet yet unforgettable. My youth may have faded. But Ethan remains by my side. Having survived a near-death experience. All burdens lifted. I smiled brightly at Ethan. Tears finally streamed down his face as he rushed to embrace me. Holding on desperately. This time, amidst everyone's cheers and good-natured teasing, I gently returned his embrace.